Thank you.
Representative Pabon.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in strong support of this resolution. You know, over the course of the last several days, I've received many notes, many emails, many social media posts from constituents who I've known for a very long time and I hold near and dear to my heart when I walk into this chamber every day. And one of my constituents I've known before she was a constituent in college, she sent a note that said, I just want you to remember, Representative Pabon, that I am an Iranian-born citizen, with half of my roots being native Coloradan from before it even existed as a state. My grandfather was a Purple Heart veteran from World War II, and my uncles fought in Vietnam. My mom lived in Iran with my Iranian dad for 10 years, where I was born. My husband's parents are immigrants from Argentina. But my story is an American story. I am an immigrant. We could all tell the story of our arrival in this country. If we've all done our homework about where we've come from and who we are, we could tell this very same story. And my colleagues and friends have talked very much about what it is to be an immigrant and a refugee in this country. I don't want to continue to belabor that point. What I do want to highlight, though, is what this executive order's message sends to the rest of us in America, particularly our children. One of the things that we teach to our children is that just because you have the power to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. What this executive order has done is made the United States of America the divided states of America. This executive order has brought out the worst in many ways of our society. Those who weren't emboldened to have these conversations about leaving others out now have the very President of the United States of America leading that charge. So what does that mean to our children and our grandchildren when we have to explain to them why we are leaving certain people out? Not out of the country, as this executive order would suggest we do, but out of our life, out of our society, out of the classroom. Those are the conversations that are happening today in our preschools, in our kindergartens, in our grade schools, and in our high schools, and our colleges, because I heard from my daughter last night saying, Dad, how do I explain this to the girls in my sorority? Our house is in tension right now. We are divided. This executive order is much far-reaching than just the refugees that are sitting in our airports and stranded in their countries where their families are here waiting to get back home to their children. It's much far-reaching because this is permeating our living rooms and our kitchens and the places we find security. We are now having division and tension. And so I rely on my family, I rely on my faith when I try to decide how do we handle this type of situation. And I'll just leave you with this, two passages that have been shared with me from our Bible, from my Bible. Leviticus, the foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were once foreigners. And Matthew, for I was hungry and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I strongly support this resolution, not just to stand with our refugees and those stranded all across the world, but also our children and our grandchildren and our history, so that we can explain one day what this executive order did, and we can say that we stood against it and with all of those who need our help when they needed it the most. Thank you.